Of the Daily Memphian. Welcome to the worst kept secret in Memphis media. A big thing we'll do today is try to just get the information out there, try to get the facts out there about what we're doing. This is very much an announcement event, not a launch event. We'll be launching and it'll be fantastic, but in the fall, okay? But we needed to get talking to everybody and let people know, because again, there's so many rumors, so much talk about it. And for a variety of business reasons, we weren't ready to discuss everything. But this is one of those secrets that's a good secret, okay? And I've joked with people way too many times. It's not as if we are revealing a tax increase, all right? We're revealing this incredible thing, which is people coming together to launch a whole new online news source for Memphis. High quality journalism. It will include podcasts, it will include video, we will do events, but it is also fundamentally a news source that's grounded in the great high-quality traditions of the printed word. And we came together, and we'll talk about who that we is, because there was a need, because there was a void. I, as you know, have been published, or some of you know, have been published with the Memphis Daily News for coming up on 16 years. And over the last few years particularly, I mean, Memphis Daily News was a little niche paper. We did really great things in business and politics and community with a small staff of 8. And over the years, people really became to respect that small paper, the things we were doing. And then over the last few years, people would come to me somewhat jokingly, and say, hey, there's an incredible opportunity for you to expand, and hey, you need to do something. And then particularly in the last 3 years, people would come to me almost with a sense of desperation, quite honestly, that we need more, better, high quality, locally focused news. And so in the last 2 years, and we'll get our board chair up here pretty soon, Andy Cates, to talk, Andy is also a friend of mine. We've been friends for 20 years and has always had an incredible passion for and interest in journalism. We got serious about talking about what could we do. And what we ultimately decided to do is start a whole new organization, wholly separate from the Daily News. The editorial staff of the Daily News will come over, but also a whole lot of folks, some you've read about, some you haven't, and some have not been announced yet and won't be announced today. More people will be hired. We will form more partnerships. This will be a constant evolution. It's not like we're unveiling a Tesla 3 and that's the car and that's pretty much it. We are going to unveil something that is, I think, incredibly important for the city, involving a whole lot of talent and a whole lot of really high quality journalists to address a need for high quality local news. High quality local news means that we're going to do stories that are critical. It means we're going to do stories that are great. It means stories that are positive. It means stories that are focused on the negative. And that's all fine as long as what we're doing is high quality, grounded in traditional, the highest standards of traditional journalism and the highest ethical standards that are out there. It's also really important that you understand that this is about Memphis. So our staff is focused on Memphis. We intentionally hired people who have experience in Memphis, who could hit the ground running in Memphis and know their beats and know the people and begin to deliver this high quality news on day one. It's also important to know that we will be growing. We will be adding people in the short term and long term. It's also important to know that we'll be working on internship programs with all the colleges. We have Otis Sanford here from the University of Memphis and a whole lot of other places and things. Those internship programs will bring, I hope, a new generation of journalists into a working newsroom in Memphis, particularly focused on African American, people of color, and women, and bringing them into a working newsroom. I was an intern back way too many years ago. That's how I got my start. I think most of us in the newsroom probably were, and that's an incredibly important tradition in the newsroom that's been lost, I think, on the side of the printed word. Let me just wrap up a couple more things, just real quick facts and just basics. And let me also say that there will be a packet that everybody can get at the end. We can email to you. They're printed, that has a lot, a kind of FAQ and a press release. And so some of the basics that I'm talking about today will be elaborated in that. We will be, as I said, I think we're launching in the fall. Right now, you'll see a staff of about 20 to 25 people, most of them full-time, some part-time. We will be adding. That is not the final staff. I want to keep saying that. We will be online only, and we will be paywall driven. And what we decided was, from a business point of view, that was the best model. okay? Sponsorships, events, advertising, but that paywall was critical. We'll launch at $7 a month, get your first month free, and we'll go from there. And I think what we have all seen nationally is what happens when you don't pay for journalism. The CA some 15 years ago was over a newsroom of over 200. And the story of what happened in our local traditional paper is a story that's happened across the country. So newsrooms were decimated over the last 15 years for a whole lot of reasons. And our goal here is to begin to put, not just stop that retraction, but to begin to offer more news locally, more high quality news locally. Let me bring up, we'll do questions at the end. I'm going to bring up these folks just to talk a little bit about why they got involved and what they're doing. I'll come back, I'll get Andy Cates, our board chair, up here to talk, and then we'll open up for questions, okay? So let's get Jeff up.
I came for the Tesla 3. One of the things that I've come to love about Memphis is that, yes, we have needs as a city, but it seems like a nonstop group of people who step up to meet those needs. And whether it was as far back as Danny Thomas, who saw a need in this city and this country once upon a time, or whether it was Scott Morris in the Church Health Center, or was the people who brought the Grizzlies to town, or whether it was the people who are working on Shelby Farms, or whatever it is, we have challenges and needs, and we have folks who step up to meet those needs. And now, as Eric said, there is a crying need for good local journalism. And that's true across the country, of course. I think it's particularly true in Memphis. And so it's thrilling to be asked to be part of the effort to meet that need at the Daily Memphian. I'll be completely honest, I came here for a job 22 years ago, and I thought that I've loved doing that job for the last 22 years. I've loved writing about Memphis for Memphians. I thought I would be doing it till I was in my rocking chair. And that job changed. And I found that instead of focusing on journalism, I was focusing on clicks. I was writing for bosses in Nashville for a publication that was neither produced, laid out, printed, directed, all outside of the city of Memphis. And let's be honest, it came to feel like we had a Nashville publication in town. Memphis needs a Memphis publication in town. And so it is really thrilling to be able to be asked to be part of this. And honestly, to have colleagues who've joined me in this, the colleagues who are already at the Daily News, but then the colleagues who've joined me one after another, of some of the best journalists in Memphis, a lot of you sitting here. It's just exciting and fun, and it's going to be fun to have journalism be fun again. And I think part of this that Eric didn't necessarily emphasize, but was important to me, is it's a nonprofit. It got to be, as the bottom line became unrelenting and depressing, it got to be discouraging to focus only on clicks. And because this is a nonprofit, because it is supported by Memphians and will ultimately be supported by Memphians, the emphasis is going to be on what drew me to the business in the first place, which is storytelling. So I can't wait to get to it. I especially can't wait to get back and start writing again about Penny Hardaway. Thanks for listening. Who's next?
Good afternoon. As you know, I'm Otis Sanford. My day job is Chair of Excellence in Journalism at the University of Memphis, Department of Journalism and Strategic Media. I actually represent two roles here. I'm joined today by our chair, Dr. David Rand, and my colleague over here, Tom Rock. I represent two phases here. Yes, I will be moving my weekly political column to the Daily Memphian starting in the fall. So I will continue to anger and upset and irritate a lot of people throughout the greater Memphis area in a new form. But secondary to that, the University of Memphis Department of Journalism and Strategic Media is pleased to partner with the Daily Memphian through a separate venture that is starting this month at the University of Memphis, which is the Institute for Public Service Reporting. It'll be housed in the Department of Journalism and Strategic Media, be an independent, investigative, and public service reporting initiative. It is going to be run, or is already starting to be run, by the foremost investigative reporter in the city of Memphis, and that's Mark Pereskia over here to the left, which is outstanding and news for all of us. So the Department of Journalism will be supporting that. There will be graduate students within the department who will be working with that, and that content will be published by the Daily Memphian on the Daily Memphian site. In addition to that, we intend to, as we always do, to provide undergraduate journalism students as interns for the Daily Memphian and other news outlets throughout Memphis and beyond. So that's my role in the Daily Memphian. I will also be sort of an editor at large, which basically means I'll be a consultant to James Overstreet if he needs any on editing issues going forward. And let me finish with this before we bring up Jennifer. I've been a part of journalism in this community for more than 40 years. Started here as a reporter for the CA in 1977, actually worked as a copy boy in 1973. So my tentacles go back a long way in journalism in this community, and a lot of you in this room I've worked with over the years doing the kind of journalism that I think Memphians and Miss Southerners have been proud of, even though they get angry sometimes. I think this is a golden opportunity to bring the quality of journalism that people come to expect in this community, have always expected in the community, to bring it to a level where I think everybody can be proud of. So I'm happy to be involved with it. But again, my day job is at the University of Memphis, but I'm very supportive of the Daily Memphian initiative. Thank you.
I think I'm going to have to bring this down a little lower after this. I'm Jennifer Biggs, and I'm the food and dining reporter, or food and dining editor for the Daily Memphian. I can't tell you how excited I am. I know that everybody else is all serious. I'm just so excited. When Eric told me what he was doing, Eric and James and I met, and he, as Eric does, he got all excited and he's throwing his arms around, and about 15 minutes in, he said, "So that's what we're doing. Do you want to do it?" And I said, "Well, let me think about it." And I'm just thinking, oh my God, I want to do this so bad. And I am so excited, and I'm so excited to be working with the people that are coming from the Commercial Appeal. Jeff, many of you out here, great reporters. Otis, who 18 years ago was the one who called me and asked me after 10 years of freelancing for the Commercial Appeal if I wanted to come work there. And then 2 years later came to me and said, "Do you want to go into features?" And that's how I ended up writing about food. Memphis is a vibrant food city. We're going to have a lot of fun writing about food. As much, I mean, it is the best beat. Like Jeff, I would have been happy to have been doing this forever because I didn't want to leave what I was doing. But I also thought I was going to be married forever, and sometimes things are just it's time to move on, and this was the place to go. And I'm just so happy to be here, and very happy to be bringing y'all fun news, food news, and some serious things too. We have to address the seriousness of Memphis being a city of poverty and food insecurity, and we'll be doing a lot of things. Just stay tuned, won't be long.